Thank you for tuning into the Randy Rex Show. I am so honored, I am so grateful, and I am so privileged to have you all tuning in to another episode. So kicking off episode 4, we see that the Traitors kill Caroline. And they are vicious, especially Lisa Rinna. But I am loving to get to see this side of Lisa Rinna again. As a longtime Real Housewives fan and as a longtime Lisa Rinna fan, I'm so happy that we get to see this side of her. Towards the end of her time on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it just wasn't the same Lisa that we grew to know and love. But, they wanted to cover their tracks, so they murdered Caroline. Colton is talking about coming for Tiffany. And that's exactly what happens at this round table. It is a brutal knockdown, drag out fight between Tiffany and Colton. But inevitably, Colton shines enough speculation on Tiffany, and Tiffany is banished as a faithful, of course. So here we are, leaving episode 4 with 2 more faithfuls biting the dust. In episode 5, this is a huge Michael Rapaport episode for all of you Rapaport heads out there. But he is banished by the end of the episode, and in that round table, it gave us my favorite moment for this season thus far. And much like Lisa Rinna, another housewife that I love is Dorinda. And much like Lisa Rinna, I did feel like Dorinda was just so toxic towards the end of her time on The Real Housewives of New York City. So even seeing this more downplayed side of Dorinda is nice, because we're still getting that part of her that we fell in love with, just like that sweet, motherly, nurturing side. So I say all of this to say, I mean no offense to Dorinda, but my favorite moment thus far this season is during the round table when Ron accuses her of being a traitor. And she, rightly so, defends herself and tries to explain how Ron is so cut off and standoffish and doesn't want to get to know anybody. And how she has tried to get to know him. She has tried to get to know his family. And I cannot say it as swiftly as he did, and I'm definitely not going to be very accurate, but the part that sticks out most is when he tells her to not worry about his fucking family. And it was just so brutal and so cutting, and we see no reaction from Dorinda, and even Lisa Rinna is like, ooh, with her big lips, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was just brutal. And suffice it to say, despite all of that carnage, there was even more carnage between Colton and Michael, as they're both accusing each other of being a traitor. Michael has just been on a terror this whole episode, so it's no surprise that everyone banishes him. He even comes for Eric in his golden ears. Michael is telling Colton that, about how, how he threw Tiffany out there and how he was wrong. You'd think he would be a little bit more humble and not so attacky. And Colton's like, no, that's not my personality. I took a shot and I missed, but I'm going to keep taking my shots. And someone online was like, that's a horrible character flaw. Because rather than sit there and analyze your decision making, you're just going to keep acting. You're going to keep taking action without thinking about it. But it's been a really great season. Now, at this point, I think we have like, what, 15, 14 people left because we ended this episode off on a cliffhanger. We don't know if the traitors are going to get to murder someone. And if they do, Lisa is adamant that she wants to go for Colton because he is mentioning her name now. Lisa is the first traitor to really have any heat on her. So if a traitor is called out at any time at all, it will be Lisa first and foremost. That's my prediction. Having said that, I really don't think it will happen until maybe like the top 10, but we'll see. Well, I hope you enjoyed my quick little recap. You know, I love making these little videos where I get to talk about this silly stuff and really find my space for the joy that I have for reality TV and anything and everything that comes along with it. Take care, and I love you.